I have 5:30. Are you guys ready to go? Everybody ready? So I'd like to call to order this February 2024 regularly scheduled meeting of the Natrona County Planning and Zoning Commission at 5:30 PM. And I'll do the introductions after we do the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I'd like to introduce who we have up here. My name's Hal Hutchinson. I'm the chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission. To my farthest left is Commissioner Ray Schulte. To my immediate left is Commissioner Chad McNutt. To my second one over is Commissioner Kyle Williams. I believe this is your first meeting, Kyle?
It is.
Yeah, welcome. And to my immediate right is Commissioner Robert Grant. I'd also like to introduce Shelby Trottier, planning technician / planner in charge for now. And next to her is Deputy County Attorney Jared Holbrook. So this commission is an advisory board of the Natrona County Commissioners, and our decisions are subject to the approval, conditional approval, denial, or modification by the Board of County Commissioners. We have one single item on the agenda tonight as far as applications. We will hold an official public hearing as part of that. And this hearing is recorded, and there will be written minutes of this meeting. After this Planning and Zoning Commission holds a public hearing, unless an application is tabled or withdrawn, the Board of County Commissioners will hold another public meeting for this application. And according to the schedule I have, this is set, if approved tonight, I guess whatever we do with it tonight goes to the county commissioners on March 5th. That sound right? Okay. I'm just going to go through this stuff. I know it's just a one application thing tonight, but when the chair recognizes you, please come to the podium and clearly state your name and address before giving your comments. First, we'll ask for those in favor of the application to address the commission. Then we'll ask for those opposed to also come up and be recognized. You should know that this is not a forum for public outcry or speaking from the audience. You must be recognized by the chair before addressing the commission. And we have, again, that one item, and that's MS 24-02. That is the MDC plat. All right. So moving on to the agenda. Next is the consideration of the minutes from December 12th, 2023. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes? And Chair would entertain a motion for consideration.
I move that we accept the minutes as provided to us.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Was that you, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'd like to make one comment. I notice in every instance when we had our applications considered, it says whomever, Mr. Schulte, Mr. McNutt, Mr. Grant, Mr. Williams, whatever, and it says he made the motion. It says I approve, I move to approve. I think that should be in the third person. It's he moved to approve. So for future reference, I don't think it's a big deal now, but I think it would read better accordingly. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. We had a unanimous approval of the December 12th, 2023 minutes. All right, moving on to real business, and that is consideration of MS 24-2, a request by MDC of Wyoming for approval of a vacation and replat of Westgate Park 3, Lot 18, to create the MDC subdivision, a major subdivision consisting of 5 lots on a parcel of approximately 12 acres in the light industrial zoning district. Shelby, do we have a staff report? Or Jared? Sorry.
There we go. Sometimes these mics want to work, sometimes they don't. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioners, we do have the case tonight. It's MS 24-2, and that is an application for the MDC subdivision. The owner of this would be Ken Milne, and this is a request by the MDC of Wyoming for approval of a vacation and replat of Westgate Park 3, Lot 18, to create the MDC subdivision, which is a major subdivision consisting of 5 lots on a parcel of approximately 12 acres in size, and that would be in a light industrial zoning district. Keep going. Thank you. And again, this property is located on the south side of West Yellowstone Highway, south of the intersection at West Yellowstone and 6 Mile Road. And it is just off of West Derrick Street in the Westgate Park 3 subdivision. The adjacent land use is all light industrial. There is a minimum lot size of half an acre with public water and sewer, or 2 acres without public water and sewer. And this property currently has 3 structures on the lot. Go ahead and click. There we go. Now it just makes a little more sense. So it's proposed to divide that larger lot into 5 different lots. I believe 4 of them would be over 2 acres in size, and 1 of them would be just under 2 acres. However, there would be public water and sewer with this, so it would meet all of the standards required for that. The water source would be Vista West Water, and wastewater would be Vista West, Westgate Park Sewer District. Moving on to the general standards for a major subdivision. Major subdivision is a division of land into 2 or more parcels of 140 acres or less, and not classified as a simple subdivision. Criteria number 1 would be, is this consistent with the Natrona County Development Plan and Natrona County Zoning Resolution? This criteria is met. The proposed MDC subdivision lot dimensions are in compliance with the 2022 zoning resolution. As I stated, this is light industrial and has a half-acre lot minimum, so all of the lots would be over that minimum. The intent and purpose of the light industrial zoning district is to establish and protect areas for light manufacturing and storage facilities. Again, all of the surrounding lands are in light industrial zoning district as well. The subdivision for criteria 2 is the subdivision in conformance with the general provisions and subdivision design standards. That standard is met as well, as it is in conformance with those general provisions and the subdivision design standards of the 2013 Natrona County subdivision regulations. Criteria number 3 is whether the applicant has provided evidence that a sufficient water supply system will be acquired. That standard is met, as I stated earlier. This would be in the Vista West Water Service District. Criteria 4 is whether the applicant has provided evidence that a public sewage disposal system will be established. And again, this is met as it will be served through the Vista West Westgate Park Sewer District. Criteria 5 has the applicant provided evidence to show all areas of the proposed subdivision which may involve soil or topographical conditions presenting hazards or requiring special precautions have been identified by the applicant. That standard is met. The Natrona County Conservation District did provide some recommendations for the MDC subdivision. Those recommendations are that due to the soil and slope, that development be overseen by professionals with guidance by Natrona County. That due to earthen irrigation canals being located on 3 sides of the property, that is critical to minimize erosion of soil and construction debris during construction of new buildings. My understanding is the intent is to put 2 new buildings on in the subdivision. And the third, that any excess sedimentation in natural drainages and irrigation canals should be removed to minimize potential flooding problems. Criteria 6 are the necessary services, including fire, police, protection, schools, recreation, utilities, open space, and transportation systems are available for the proposed subdivision. That standard is met. This is within the Natrona County Sheriff's jurisdiction and requires no new services. Criteria 7 is the subdivision appears to be compatible with surrounding area, not detrimental to the future development of the area, and not detrimental to the health, safety, and welfare of the inhabitants of the area and the county. That standard is met. The MDC subdivision will remain light industrial, and there's no detriment to the health, safety, and general welfare of the inhabitants. And the last criteria, 8 and 9, are the documentation satisfactory, that the improvement and service district requirements have been met. It's currently part of the Vista West Westgate Park Improvement Service District, and the vacation and replat has no impact on this service. As the required services are in place, there's no financial guarantee required. The considerations from the planning department, the staff has received comments, the following comments. Road and Bridge didn't have any comment on the plat. The Natrona County Health Department had no comments, as this is public water and sewer. The fire district had no comment on this plat, and again, the Natrona County Conservation District did comment on the slope and soil types and erosion control and sedimentation risk. And the City of Mills Planning Department reviewed the plat and had no comment either. There were notices sent to 20 neighbors, and as of the date of the staff report, there were no comments. At this time, the staff proposes that the Planning and Zoning Commission enter a motion to vote and recommend approval of the requested MDC subdivision. All requirements have been met at this time. There is a sample motion to approve that you can follow if you do vote to approve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for staff before we move into public hearing? Okay, with that, we'll move into the public hearing for the application. So I'd like to open the public hearing for consideration of tonight's loan application, and that is MS 24-2, and that's for the MDC subdivision. First, would the applicant like to come up and share with us anything that maybe was not provided with the, with staff's presentation?
No, sir, it seems like he stated everything pretty well.
Okay. So would like to ask anyone in favor of the application to please come forward to the podium and give us your name and address, and we'll have your name, we'll have you down for the, for being in favor of, and we're also going to have ones for being opposed. This is typically the time the applicant would come up and say, I speak in favor of my application.
Like I said, he explained everything pretty well.
If we could get your name and address, we'll put, you'll be,
Then Yomi, 2960 Skyline.
okay? And you're speaking in favor?
Yes.
You're speaking in favor, okay? Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak in favor of the application, please come forward. Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak in favor of the application?
My name's Louis Gage with JGC Engineering, 111 West Second Street. I'm in favor of the project. I'm an engineer. And we told the lines of 50 engineering ones.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak in favor of the application? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in opposition to the application, would you please come forward? Hello. I didn't get your first name? Carla Vincent? Okay, Vincent, okay. You're doing fine. Miss Vincent, won't you hold on for, and see if we can. Sorry for the mix-up, technical problems. I think it's, so this is being recorded and so the recording may not be able to pick it up. That would really be bad if somebody cut a finger off over there.
Heard at a planning and zoning commission meeting.
Okay. So,
Ms. Vincent, if you don't mind starting completely over.
over,
with-
okay. I'm Carla Vinson, and I live at 1833 Welsh Avenue, which I'm across the irrigation ditch, and 1 acre plot is in between me, and then it's me. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm not opposed to him putting up the buildings. It's the businesses that I'm worried about going in there. Because I have letters from them. They came over when they were running a fiberglass place. They polluted all of our properties and they've never cleaned it up like they said they would. And I've been dealing with fiberglass problems for over a year now. And I'm more worried about the business, and I'm not opposed to him building buildings.
Could we pull up
So I
the,
don't know
so we can find out
if
where Ms.
this even
Vincent,
pertains to that, or if I need to wait till a later date for the businesses, or what.
let's see if we can you point out where your property is?
Yeah. Let's see, where are we at? Yeah. Former Carver, yeah.
Where, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I was looking elsewhere.
Where's the irrigation? Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And I even have stuff, we had the state come out, and that I have state reports and everything from Cheyenne and everything.
Okay.
And I was promised to be cleaned up by last January, and it hasn't been yet. And I don't think they've cleaned their property up yet. Last I talked to the DEQ, they hadn't.
So I take it that the property that's
Mhm, it's
subject
polluted
tonight
too.
used to be a fiberglass?
Yeah,
Fiber-
theirs did.
Fiberglass
They were running
associated
a
with?
fiberglass.
Okay.
They were recycling, I just went blank, the windmills
Oh, okay.
over there outside.
Okay.
And pretty much my place, the one next to the irrigation ditch, the 2 across the road from me, the one clear down at the very end of the road from me, at the very end on the frontage road, and all my neighbors to the south of me, we've all got that. So I'm just worried about the business going in there. I'm not opposed to the buildings because it hasn't been done yet.
So it sounds like you have a ongoing dialogue with DEQ on
No,
this?
no, it's with the business that they had. I'm trying to get my property cleaned up for hazmat from them.
And who are you working through? Just the property owner
I am the property owner.
or just through the property owner of the,
Their property, yeah.
okay.
Well, no, not through Ken, but his son was the one, him and his son were the ones running the recycling place. Like I said, I'm more worried about the businesses going in there because everybody's been polluted over there. There's been many complaints. There was last year. And it's an ongoing deal with the state too.
Okay, that's what I was assuming the DEQ is involved with. the
Oh,
state.
yeah, they've all been down. Yep.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Oh, questions for the applicant or questions for the, Ms. Benson? Anyone have questions? Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward.
We were recycling windmill blades, and we've got constant complaints.
Mr. Milne, are you speaking in opposition or are you rebutting what you heard here?
I'm rebutting it.
Okay, so let's,
No,
we have a process here. Just,
Okay.
just hang out there. Just hang out. You're fine. Sorry. We have to go through the process. Okay, seeing no one else, anyone else in the audience wishing to speak in opposition, please come forward. Seeing none, we close the public hearing. And at this time, would like the applicant, if you wish to provide a rebuttal from what you've heard from the opponents, you may please come forward.
we used to, another one of my companies recycled windmill blades, and it got dust over there. My son went over there twice. She's complaining about fiberglass in her hot tub, but she doesn't have a cover on it.
I do too.
And we went over and took soil samples and turned them into the DEQ, and we've got everything cleared up. As far as anything else goes beyond that, I don't know, because I'm semi-retired and my son was taking care of all that. But we did everything we could do. We sprayed everything down to keep the fly ash from going anywhere. But I have since shut that company down. And there's just light industrial going on there now.
Any questions for Mr. Milne? So I have one. Is there an open case with Wyoming DEQ?
No, it's been taken care of, as far as I know.
And that would not be with you, that would be with your son. Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, he runs the asbestos company and all the other companies, and he knows all about the rules, and I don't.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, we've concluded the public hearing and we heard the rebuttal. Now it's time for consideration of the application itself. Before we move into a motion to approve or disapprove, I was wondering if we could have some further discussion on some details of the plat and plans. I was hoping I might hear some of the questions I have through the discussion we've had so far, but I haven't. So I'm wondering, for one, Elton Court is paved up to the entrance to the existing single property. Are plans to pave Elton Court, the 280, 290 feet more into the property? I guess that would be part of staff's criteria number 2, said the subdivision design standards had been satisfied. I was wondering what was designed.
I got one moment, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Chair, we do have the engineer here that may be able to answer some of these more specific questions a little quicker.
So while we're at it, I'll just spit out everything I've got here. Along the same lines, are there plans with Vista West Water and Sewer to extend the water main and to extend the sanitary sewer main into the new cul-de-sac? And also, I'm wondering if It's not often we have these major subdivisions. We haven't had one come through in a while. But it had been a standard that the county hired someone to do an independent review of the plat. I'm wondering if that's been done.
I believe that has been done. The review of the plat, Mr. Chair, was done by CEPI, and then Bill Farringer, I believe, on that one, did a review of this plat. Trying to find this in.
And along the same
Yes,
lines with the
he-
water and sewer, has a Chapter 23 DEQ review been prepared because of a major subdivision?
I believe the size of this subdivision into 5 lots didn't require the Chapter 23 DEQ. So that was a health department review.
I want to make,
And it was Bill Farringer that
Okay.
was the surveyor on this and did approve.
I
Mr.
might
James.
help in aiding on the water and sewer portion of it. I think around 2011, the water and sewer got extended in because there was, those 2 other existing buildings. So there was a sewer main and a water main. There's a fire hydrant at the current, that location right there.
Can you show us up here? So,
Yeah. Right now, there's a fire hydrant somewhere, you can kind of see, right? I think that's a fire hydrant.
okay,
And there's a manhole somewhere right here, so these that were extended in about 2011, 2012. We drew up some plans, I'm not sure exactly, but everything got extended here about that time.
okay,
And now, everything is 8-inch, everything is 8-inch to this point here. So from Vista West, approval of the water, we're tapping off the 8-inch main here, and then sewer lines with, this west sewer, we're tapping off on the main. And of course, you're correct, this is still gravel, still just a gravel drive right up to there.
so are there any plans to pave as an extension of already paved Elton Court?
And we've had no discussion on that at this time, no.
Okay. As a planning and zoning commissioner, I would ask that question, why would you not continue paving an existing paved road? I guess that's a decision for the county commissioners to wrestle with. But I would like to state it as part of the discussion here tonight.
I mean, do you expect more traffic with these 2 new buildings coming in?
No, that the whole yard is open, and so they can turn around any trucks in the yard. So it's kind of like, it's a community yard. And if basically, I was talking to John, he says he wants a bigger corner, make the trucks can turn around when they pave it. And, but there's plenty of room around the yard for the trucks to turn around.
Where that gets to be a problem is if you got a cantankerous, one of the 5 property owners that does not want anyone to get on his property out. I think you've got a 60-foot cul-de-sac on this one instead of an 80-foot on the existing one. So
Yeah, that was brought to my attention. I'll talk to the engineer about
as far as what, making it an 80-foot instead of a 60-foot?
it. Yes.
Okay. I think the design standards require a 50-foot, or 60-foot, 50-foot paved, 60-foot platted.
Which is $60 foot, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so it meets the minimum requirements.
Meets the minimum requirements. Further, Mr. Chair, the county commissioners could deem it necessary to continue to pave the road. At a minimum, the roads shall be paved according to specifications of Natrona County road standards or surfaced with a minimum of crushed rock or gravel surfaced as designed by a professional engineer and approved by the county.
So I would assume as part of the minutes that we already have here tonight, that's going to make it to the ears, and we have a county commissioner here, it's going to make it to the attention of the commissioners for their consideration on that.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any other discussion before we consider a motion or look at a motion? Seeing none, the chair would entertain a motion for consideration of the MDC subdivision as presented.
Mr. Chair, considering all relevant factors, including but not limited to those set forth in the 2013 subdivision regulation of Natrona County, I find the major subdivision meets the general standards required. On that basis, I move to approve MS 24-2 with the due pass recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners with all staff findings of fact incorporated by reference.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second for approval of MDC subdivision. Any statement we need to make about DEQ's involvement with possible contamination of adjacent lots?
Don't believe so in this situation, Mr. Chair.
Perhaps we could just make it as part of the discussion we had tonight is included in the minutes for the commissioners' notification that there may be an issue there.
I think that would be appropriate, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second for approval. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, call for the question. All those in favor of the motion to approve signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the application for the MDC subdivision is recommended for county commissioner approval at their March 5th, 2024 regular meeting. Okay. Thank you. Next on the agenda is public comment. This is a time when citizens can bring forth items of interest or concern that are not on the agenda. Ms. Vinson, you have anything for us?
I was just gonna recommend that you guys get a hold of Charles with the DEQ. That's who I've been working with,
Okay,
and he can lead you into what's going on. My property's never been cleaned up, neither has the neighbors, nothing.
okay.
And I have a report from the state of Wyoming, the ground when they came in and did soil samples, and it was 18 to 44%.
So what
And
you brought,
that is with the state.
what you brought to us is on our radar now. So, staff, I would encourage you to be in touch with DEQ on
Charles,
this issue. Charles
Yeah.
with DEQ.
yep,
And that is that local DEQ or is that?
he's
Cheyenne?
out of Lander, but he takes care of this.
Okay,
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. Well, and just
I've
to be-
had to breathe insulation all summer last year. It was horrible. I've got videos after videos after videos. of the pollution.
And just to be clear, it's still ongoing with DEQ, and it's most likely with his son. who's
It's
run-
the whole company.
It's the whole company, yeah. Okay.
And the state, I don't know for sure. Well, you talked to Charles. I'm not going to speak for him.
Robert, you had something?
Yes, so installation services has been cleaning up the actual place where they've been disintegrating these funeral waste.
Yeah, but they've polluted all the properties around there.
I understand that, but I think they're working on cleaning just that lot.
I just would hope you would get a hold of Charles, is what I can say.
You know his last name?
Pardon me?
Do you know his last name?
Yeah, I could have blurted it out, but you asked me. Charles,
Charles with DEQ and Lander. That's
yeah, I have his phone
sufficient.
number. Do you want his phone number? I
Yeah.
probably have it in my phone, actually. And there are lawsuits pending.
I'm sorry?
There are lawsuits pending.
Okay. All right, anything else from public comment? Communications? Anything for us tonight, Jared or?
Mr.
Shelby?
Chair, one thing that we did want to point out, we did mention earlier that this case will be heard at the March 5th meeting for the Board of County Commissioners. There was an initial notice that was sent out that did have March 19th as the date. So we just wanted to make it clear that it is the March 5th meeting that this will be heard at.
Well, they left.
That they were updated, I believe, that this was March 5th. We said it in here. It was just for anyone that may have read the paper.
Okay.
There's a new notice that will be published within the 14-day timeline where that will state the March 5th meeting as well.
Okay.
Further, we do have on the agenda that our next meeting is March 12th for the Planning and Zoning Commission. At this time, we don't have any cases for the March meeting, so we may end up canceling that meeting, or I think it's not necessary to have that meeting without any cases, but we should start having.
It's too soon to tell us now if that's the case.
Yes. I don't believe that we're going to have anything in time. We're well past any deadlines, so I think it'd be safe to cancel the meeting at this time and then just have our next meeting in April.
Okay, so about a week before, if you can send us an email verifying that, I think that'd be a good deal.
That's on the paper for March 19th.
Any more communications?
I don't believe so, Mr. Chair.
Could, perhaps you could fill us in on what's the latest with a replacement planner?
Currently, Mr. Chair, we do not have a replacement planner. It was brought up last week at the County Commissioners work session, and we're in the process of potentially trying to contract out with a company. We're exploring different options at this time to have somebody kind of come in and fill in for some of those planner roles.
Okay, all right. I was reading an article from, actually it come from staff, the role of the county planner or the role of the planner that I'd gotten from Commissioner Schulte. And I think one of those 14, no, one of the three things you gave me said something to the effect of making the commissioners available for selection of a new planner. So I, for one, would be willing to help if the commissioners so wish to do that. And if you guys want to pitch in and say the same thing, you're welcome to do it. I heard Chad and Robert say sure.
We can collect that from you after the meeting, ma'am.
Okay, if there's no more business, Chair would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I motion that we adjourn.
I second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 6:50.